Hi, this is Mr. Fleming, and this video is for my Art 2 Studio class. Now, we will be going fully remote on January 4th, and I will not be seeing you until January 11th. Please look at these videos during your regular class time. I have a Google Doc, and that's how I'll be doing my attendance. If you watch the video at a different time other than our usual class time or a scheduled class time, you will be not marked in class. This is coming from administration, and I need to follow the rules and the protocols of St. Paul Diocesan School. Having said that, the previous video we talked about using the elements of art, of line and shape to create the principle of art of motion. And I'm looking for the setup, and over here you can see my thumbnails, and this is the person in the distance. He's moving closer, and he breaks through the picture plane, and here's my person in the background, moving to the midground, the foreground, and then breaking out the picture plane. So we want to see movement in there. It doesn't have to be 4 frames. Down here you can see I have a sun face and the rays blowing in front of it, and there is 1 frame, and the movement will be the breeze of the rays of the sun blowing in front of it. You can do whatever you want. Now in our class we did talk about typography, and I want to talk about that for 1 moment. Give me a second. Little technical difficulties here. As far as the lettering goes, we talked about making sure that you printed out any words you want to use and then trace them out. This is important. We talked about typography. We talked specifically about kerning. And kerning is literally how we space lettering. Now, looking at the S and the T, this is the end of the S, here's the T. How much space should be in between is a visual design issue that you need to pay attention to in typography. The other one is leading. Now, leading, it has more to do with the spacing of the lines. So the spacing between the lines is important and visually important as far as how to present a piece of artwork. Now, you can use a ruler and you can space this out, but you can't really use your own eyes and eye out. It's simply not going to work. You can see over here, this is one of the cartoons that done in previous years, and it actually is a very effective cartoon in many ways. A person can certainly draw, but you can see the lettering was not really considered as being as important as it is. And the handwriting, although it's neat and legible, it's not visually captivating enough. It has to be read instantaneously. It has to be read cleanly, and that needs to be taken into consideration. There are many different fonts you can use. We talked about Helvetica being, or Arial being just easy to read, and you need to consider those. You can solve yourself a lot of time and effort by printing it out. That means the spacing and the kerning can be done for you. So I have the space between the lines and letters all worked out for me. This is where I think you need to go at this stage. I'm not teaching a class in typography. The class is actually drawing. I simply need to make sure that if you're using letters in your artwork, we do understand these basic terms. So having said that, I've got the words all printed out here. We want to talk about how to put a speech boxes into our art room here. And there really are many different kinds here, and they're really very common to the point where they almost seem ubiquitous and they must be understood. But just in case, over here we have a thought bubble, and you can see here the small circles that kind of increase to a cloud-like effect, and that indicates a thought bubble. This is a speech bubble, which indicating a pointing line to the person speaking, and we have different kinds here too. We have the chevron shape that goes around showing excitement, and there are all kinds of variety of shapes you can use. That doesn't really concern me so much as the placement of the words in the speech bubble or the thought bubble. That's concerning, and that's what we're going to pay attention to right now. So if I make a speech bubble, let me do the outside first. So here is the person speaking here, and I'll make this go around. And there's my speech bubble. So everything needs to fit in it. We have to pay attention to where is the middle. Before you do anything, I'd in pencil, I'd make a rectangle, and then go from corner to corner, That's the middle right there. That gives me it. Now, because I traced out, printed out the words, I have them traced out there. I can go in there and space them. Again, I made a triangle, a rectangle, went corner to corner, and then placed the words where they should be in the center. So I'm just going to put the words right in there, and I'm going to say, go. Okay, so because I worked out the center of the field and I have the words printed out, it's a much more legible speech bubble. Again, you can do all kinds here. The chevron shape to show excitement. But then again, you've got to find the center, so I'm going to make a rectangle. Corner to corner, and then I can put the word in there, right there in the middle. And wow goes right there in the middle. Over here, I'm going to make a thought bubble. These are the main ones. So it's a circle, a circle, a circle, and then this has a kind of a puffy cloud look to it. Indicates something. Someone's thinking. And I heard this term a lot when I got my YouTube channel together. My kids were so proud of me. They made up this little term to show how advanced I am for a boomer, and it's okay boomer. So I made a rectangle, corner to corner, it's right there in the middle. And now, so now my lettering is centered, it's legible. So keep that in mind. Any speech bubbles, you should understand how they work. What it indicates excitement, that's a speech bubble, that's a thought bubble. Placement is important of your words. I would not do it freehand. I would print them out and then trace the words out. This will save you a lot of time and make it a lot better as far as an illustration. Now, we're remote, and we were doing typography. My main concern for the project is to have the process, thumbnails, rough, and final draft. What I'm looking for in the object, the drawing, the final draft, is you using the elements of shape and line to create movement. We have the flames moving across the face. If you want to, you can do 4 frames. It's a little bit easier showing movement in 4 frames, but that's what I want to try to get across to you, is using a specific element to create a specific principle of art, and that's what we'll be doing when we're doing remotely. Please check these videos out during your class time, and we'll go from there. So remember to make art, because art won't make itself.